I'd do everything possible to get monthly comics in the supermarkets and movie theaters and Walmart and Target and Costco and offer subscription services through Amazon. Pursue every alternative distribution avenue possible. The present course taken by major publishers is a dead end. He's absolutely right. He knows. I mean, he knows. He's sold millions of comics, you know. He's created countless characters. He knows. Hey everyone, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today is episode 96 of the new Coffee and Comic Show, and as you can see, this guy came back to the show.
Hey everybody.
Ryan, how you doing, man?
I'm great, man. Thanks for inviting me back. This is awesome.
I didn't think it would be this soon, but
Me
you know
neither.
what? Here you are.
I figured you only get enough of me. You can only do like maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah, twice a year.
At most.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you made it back. Unfortunately, our friend Bob, he's got a family emergency going on right now, and he's not able to make it this week. If you could do me a favor, send him some good vibes. He's going to be needing it over the next few weeks. And you know what? He's a great friend of mine. He's a good friend of yours. So keep him in your prayers and your thoughts. He is fine, but he does have some family emergencies to take care of. But like I said, luckily our friend Ryan is here to fill in for the moment. And he might be here next week. I don't know. Depends on what Bob's doing.
If you need me, let me know.
Oh, man, I don't know if I can take it 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks, I know.
Oh, my God. Anyway, let's go ahead and start off with the coffee we're drinking.
Sure.
And the coffee is brought to you by K-Cup today because we didn't have time to go to a Mocha Express. We're kind of filming this on the fly.
It's hot.
It is hot. It's supposed to be hot. Go ahead.
I really enjoyed the iced coffee that got me.
You have Jamaican Me Crazy. That's your blend. It's all watered down because he's very sensitive about being all,
I can't have coffee this late.
Stimulants or whatnot. What are you, like 80 years old?
I know. I really enjoyed the coffee you let me have the last time I was
there.
There
You go.
So, yeah.
I'm having morning blend.
Morning blend.
Yeah, this is mine. Let me see.
I like how your coffee cup is literally your sticker.
Look at that.
You know they make coffee cups with your logos
I know,
on
but
them.
this is a lot cheaper. This was $1.50.
It's even like peeling off.
It's the original sticker.
God.
That logo's for like a year and a half ago. I mean, give me a break.
You should get this on stuff, man. This is awesome.
I will. It's coming up, man. I don't like pressure myself on that type of stuff, so just give me some time.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Man, this is going to be hard. First thing I want to say thank you to our friends and partners of the show. We have Comic Proline. You're familiar with them, right? We talked about them last time you were here.
Yeah.
They have some bags coming out, the resealable kind. They're going to be hitting pretty soon if they haven't already.
I really enjoy the resealable bags.
Really? I can kind of go either way. It doesn't really bother. Because the one thing about resealable bags, if you don't use it, you can just use regular tape. So it's literally like it's got both bases covered. Yeah. But they are going to be sending us some of those bags, and we'll be showing them on the show when we get them. So that's pretty cool. And also I want to tell my buddy Tony, he's the U.S. sales rep. He sent me this. Look at this mug. Look at that. That's cool. The guy from Mandalorian, I think.
Yeah, he's the guy from Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
He's the Mandalorian, right?
Like you don't know who that is.
Come on. But Tony sent me that, and it's a nice coffee mug that comes up like that and stuff. And
how come you're not using it?
I didn't want to get it dirty yet. But it's just sitting there.
Yeah, okay.
But thank you, Tony. I love it, man. He actually went to Disney World and bought it for me and sent it to me all the way across the United States.
I have a Mandalorian coffee mug, too, at home.
Is it like this one?
No, it's a little tiny Funko one.
So mine's better. There you go. Nice. But thank you, Tony. And if you guys want to contact Tony, his information is down below. If you're looking for any supplies, he can definitely hook you up. I also want to say thank you to Scout Comics as well. They're another partner of the show. If you want to go to their website, scoutcomics.com, enter the code Bueller, you save 10% off, and you can get their monthly subscription box. You said you watched last week's. Did you see that part we talked about, that subscription box? Uh-huh. It's pretty cool. I like it.
It is cool.
Yeah. And then we have another one in Blackbox Comics. You can go to their website, blackboxcomics.net, enter the code Bueller10, and you save 10% off on all of their products. And they have a new book coming out in December called Devil's Dominion. It's not a children's book. It's about devils and demons and stuff like that. But it looks pretty cool, man. So I'm looking forward to getting a copy and doing a review here very soon. But I just want to say thank you to all them. But I want to show something really fast because somebody sent me something.
Yeah.
And this is pretty cool. Because this was sent to me from one of our viewers.
What is this?
And this is an original art piece
Hey, that's cool.
by Big Ramos. He's on Instagram. And it's spelled Bigramos, but the S is a $sign. And then LSD, and the S is a $sign. But Big Ramos 009, he sent me this. He did a bunch of these. He did some for Comic Tom and all the crew over there as well. I think he did one for Gem Mint. But this is me right there as Lobo. That's pretty cool, isn't it? You want to look at it?
Look at it.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I saw this on your Instagram.
Yeah. I shared it before he had colored it.
Yeah, no, this is cool, man.
It's very cool, man.
If only you looked like this.
Come on, man.
Yeah. You look this jacked.
At one time, I used to be
At one time.
long.
In your 20s when you're dreaming.
Yeah, exactly. Like 22 years old, something like that. But he's very talented. He actually does commissions. I'll leave a link to his Instagram down below. Check him out. You can see all his work that he's done. This is awesome. I love artwork like this. I've now got a couple pieces that have my portrait. There's one right behind you right there.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same picture. They use the exact same picture.
Is that the same guy?
No, different guy. But they use the same thumbnail from the video. And they're like, perfect. That's the perfect view. And they both gave me a chin, which is just great. Because I don't have one in real life. So I love it.
I like that. And then you had this one done by someone too, right?
Yeah, that was done by Logan Lumpkin, another viewer. He did that a while ago. And he actually did one for Sam from Sam Stinger Web and Bob from Everything Comics.
Cool.
And he's very talented. That's one I'd like to put on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
to be totally honest.
That one's awesome.
And then I've had a few other ones. I've had the Comics with Bueller logo done on a blank cover of Bloodshot. Yeah. And I showed that on here as well. So I love artwork. I got more people sending me artwork that I'm going to be showing off in the next couple of weeks. But this one, thank you so much. Yeah. Go check out his Instagram. The link is down below. He does some great work, commissions, and it's awesome. So thank you.
That is awesome.
Let me set that down. I don't want it to get damaged. It'll be up on display. I'm going to put it up on the back wall here somewhere. I'll take a free t-shirt of that when you have it done. I don't have a t-shirt. I do. You want a t-shirt? I'll give you a t-shirt.
Do you have one of the old ones?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. It doesn't fit me.
Well, is it going to fit me? Is it like a medium?
It's not going to fit you.
Yeah.
How's your channel doing, by the way?
It's doing awesome.
Over 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah, 2,000.
On what? Fat Bod Shenanigans?
Yeah, it's Dadbodshenanigans. Yeah. Fat Bod Shenanigans, though, yeah. Dadbodshenanigans.
Dadbodshenanigans.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, the link is down below. Go check it out. He unboxes a bunch of toys and stuff like that.
Play toys, and we do some comics, not very often. But
the one time you made a kid eat dog food was probably my favorite one.
Yes, that was awesome.
That was great,
He went in for more, too.
Yeah, he loved it. Jesus. People watch anything on YouTube, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our first 5. I'll go first because I already have a book up there. I have Fantastic Four, number 128. Some old goodness. I have some more right here. Fantastic Four, number 94. And Fantastic Four, number 91. See, I have old books, too.
Do you?
Yeah. Alex Ross goodness right here. Avengers, number 1. You like Alex Ross?
I do.
There you go. Another Alex Ross, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, number 1.
Are these,
Yes.
Alex
those
Ross?
are Alex Ross books. That's why I'm kind of showing these books.
Yeah.
Because he's got his timeless variants going on right now. I did a video about them. You might want to watch it.
I did watch it.
You did watch it? Look at you. Man, dedication. Did you give me a thumbs up?
No.
All right, that's all right. I don't care.
I'm one of the 4 people that give you thumbs down every week.
So you, my ex-wife, my ex-mother-in-law.
I have the same people. I have the same 4 people that give me a thumbs down every video.
There you go. All right, you're up.
So we got Spider-Woman number 1. Right? These are all reprints, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Batman 181, first Poison Ivy. Giant size X-Men, right? New X-Men, first
all
appearances.
All these reprints.
I know. Yeah, but I like the old school books, right? I'm not gonna
How many of these do you have in real life?
Well, we'll go back through them.
Okay.
Then the original X-Men. And, of course, first Hulk.
Okay.
Right? So, I really want a first Hulk, but I don't have one.
Okay.
I'd love to have one. I don't know if I have, actually, any of these. I have the Batman. Let's see. I have this one. I have this one. But no, I don't have the X-Men's, unfortunately. Right. And I have another one of the books that I brought in real life. But, yeah, this is...
That's pretty cool. We'll leave that up there.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. And it's got the poster in it,
I thought you'd have all of them, so...
I don't, unfortunately.
At one time?
No, actually, I've never had these.
Ryan.
No, I know.
Man.
I've never had these. I do. This is on my list, though.
Not even a Spider-Woman #1? I mean, that's not hard to get. I actually got one coming.
It's not high enough for me.
All right, whatever. All right, you know what? Let's switch some gears, and we're going to go to our good friend Robbie's Pick of the Week.
Hey, everybody. I'm Rockin' Robbie, and you're watching the show about comics and coffee. And my pick of the week is...
X-Men X of Swords creation #1 is Robbie's Pick of the Week. This is the very first for this new event that's going on, X of Swords. I know you're a huge fan of event books.
Nope, I'm not.
You're not?
No.
Okay. Well, there's 22 books in this series, okay? And it's starting off with this one, and this is like a giant 80-page book. It's like $7. Robbie, he read it, and he really enjoyed it. He thought it was pretty good. He's really looking forward to this X-Men event. There's been some other events that happened. Empire didn't really click with a lot of people. Hopefully this one does. I did not get this book yet, so I really couldn't tell you too much about it. I know Ryan didn't get it either.
No.
But do me a favor, go check out Robbie on Pop Culture Philosophers. He reviewed this book. He does the best reviews on YouTube. He reads 50, 60 books every week, and he reviews them. His show comes out on Tuesday night.
It's crazy.
And this one was his pick of the week, and he's pretty much been spot on all of them, so I got to give the guy credit. But honestly, I'm probably going to pass on this event as well.
There's too many events, and they don't really...
There is a lot of events, and actually we're going to get to that here in a little bit on our conversation.
Yeah.
But Robbie said it was great, so I might get this one, just to read this one, and see where it goes from there, because I do kind of take Robbie's word as gospel, to be totally honest, when it comes to a good book. So it might be worth checking out because of that. So do me a favor, go check out Robbie at Pop Culture Philosophers. The link is down below. And also, he's a featured channel on our website. Let's go ahead and switch gears yet again, and we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the video, because we're on to our topic, and our topic is brought to you by Blackbox Comics, and it's what would you change about the comic book industry, whether it be on a distribution level, a production level, comic shop, you name it. You know, it's a wide variety of a question to choose from.
There's issues with everything.
Issues with everything, yeah. And trust me, there was a lot of comments about this, and there was a lot of ideas I really enjoyed, and a lot of people had the same ideas, and I really enjoyed reading those as well. So you are actually up first, so if you want to go ahead and put your glasses off.
Yeah. We got Lord Roscoe. Is that how you say that?
Sure.
Hey guys, this is my first time answering one of your questions.
Thank you.
That being said, I would like to see a smaller amount of variants being printed per book. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love to collect variant covers, but I just feel like they have too many coming out each week. They should spread out these amazing covers, or have one of these artists do the main cover every third issue. Another idea is to possibly have the fans take a vote on what artist they want to do the next variant, and they can switch out the artist each week. I just feel like I'm buying a whole short box of variants each week, end up buying 4 of the same issue. Your shows are awesome, and glad you guys are safe. Keep on geeking on.
Well, I wanted to hit on this. First things first, variants was probably the most common response.
It's on my list.
Yeah. Maybe 50% of the responses was there's too many variants. They need to do something about variants. We actually hit on that topic like just 2 episodes ago, so we're not going to spend too much time on that. If you want to go check out that video, we did a whole video about variants. My stand on variants are, I like variants. I just think there's too many of variants. I don't think that there needs to be, just 20 different variants for a book, or 40 or 50.
I like just having one, and if you're gonna do the ratios, maybe after that. But I do not like variants at all. Yeah,
it's overwhelming, and it's hard for people to get into comic books, because they don't know where to start, because there's so much to choose from. And like I said, this was the most talked about comment was, there's too many variants. They need to change the way they do variants. So
I literally just had a lady email me the other day trying to figure out, because she wanted to buy a comic run, and she had no idea where to start. She knew she liked this one, but she's like, I don't know what the next issue is because there's so many different covers, and they're calling each issue a different semi-tag.
Sure.
And so I had to go through and explain each little thing to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is just nuts. And I'm like, it is. It's crazy.
If you were to go and take the Venom run right now, which I think is and don't quote me on this, around 30, 35 issues, maybe less. If you were to take every variant for the 35 issue run and add them all together, there's like 300 to 400 different covers. Which is just crazy.
It is crazy.
But it is what it is.
But everyone keeps buying them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually kind of what we hit on that video. It's like, are we part of the problem?
Yeah, stop buying them.
If we keep buying them, they're going to keep making them. So, anyway, let's go ahead and go to the next one there. You got the next question.
Oh, I thought I got a drink of water.
No. Keep on going. Putting you to work today, man. Last time you got off easy.
I don't know how to say this last name. Johnny Rosado?
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah.
We don't pronounce things correctly here.
We'll try. I get a hard time when I don't pronounce the Dragon Ball Z characters correctly.
Yeah. Nobody pronounces those right.
Handling of new books needs to be fixed. So many new books have spine ticks, spine rolls, and bend corners on day of release. New books with these issues are unacceptable.
That's another topic, damaged books, shipping, that we actually covered just last week on the video. And I wanted to hit that as well because that was a lot of people's concerns. They need to fix the shipping. They need to fix the damaged books that we keep receiving from our comic shops. It's not our comic shop's fault that they get these books. They're coming from Diamond, this way. And
there's twofold to that, right?
Yeah.
Or there's another side of that is like if they start putting more money into the shipping, right, protecting them better, then the pricing of everything is going to keep going up.
Yeah.
So there's kind of the give and take there, right?
Well, I think there's a better way to ship. I think there's a better way to ship with just a little bit of small increase in price. Overall, will benefit everybody because you'll get more products that's not damaged. I mean, for the price of one book not being damaged, that would cover the increase of shipping costs, to be totally honest. So, I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. But like I said, that's something we covered on the last issue. It's a lot of people's concern, damaged books. The question was, are you having a hard time getting your books?
Yeah.
And worldwide, the response was, books are damaged. Yeah. They're always damaged. We're not getting our books, so we're not alone. Yeah. And it seems to be elevated now for some reason all over the place, more so than it's ever been. So anyway, go check out that video for that. Let's go ahead and jump to the next comment. You can take your sip of your little drink.
I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank you.
This one, you'll love this one. This is from Caleb Song. Says, I would change the amount of events and make it less common but more grand. So there you go. This is a perfect example. Events don't seem special anymore.
No.
And they have too much tied into them to where, let's just take Absolute Carnage. I don't know if you were on that one at all.
I read the beginning parts of it. Yeah.
Okay. That was a 5-issue series for the main title and had multiple tie-ins from either one-shots or 3-parts things.
Once you just go like this, I'm out.
And I think it was like 40 books. And that was last year. That was actually a pretty decent one. I don't think you needed the tie-ins that much. The main title was just fine. But it just doesn't feel special. When I think of an event series, I think of Secret Wars.
Yeah.
To me,
Secret Wars was awesome.
That's an event. Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Yeah.
That's an event. More recently, Deceased.
Yeah.
I like events that take place outside of the canon of the universe. Their own, what do they call that when it's not in the same universe? Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I like the ones that don't have anything to do with what's going on, and they can take liberties. But all the
events now are just normal stories.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. They're just regular stories that would be in the book anyway. But
they just want you to buy more books and go read other titles.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
The one we just said, the X of Swords one. That's the big X-Men book that they've been leading up to. We got 22 parts to this series. That's a lot of book. 22 parts. It doesn't feel special. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think they need to cut down on events. Maybe focus on 1 or 2 a year. And really put some time and effort and make them maybe a separate thing.
Yeah.
Just a separate universe, and really go at. Like I love the Deceased one.
Because anything can happen, right? That's like Deceased was great. Secret Wars, right? The original Secret Wars was amazing because of that. Anything can happen, and then once everyone's back at home, maybe a couple things changed, but nothing. Yeah,
exactly.
Great.
But I know you're not a huge fan of events. You didn't you haven't gotten comics for a while. What was the last event you were kind of into?
Is Dark Knight's an event?
Sure, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
Some of the Batman stuff I like.
Yeah.
Some of the Batman stuff, like there's a new one called Three Jokers. It's only it's not really an event. It's just a limited series. It's
I've been thinking about reading that actually.
Yeah, it's really good. It's kind of a conclusion to the Killing Joke or something like that, or I don't know. I probably got that wrong. People let me know in the comments. But I really enjoy it. Issue 2 comes out this week, and the first one was great. So, but I do think the event fatigue is being seen, and I think
Year of the Villain was an event, right?
Year of the Villain.
That's the last one.
That was another one.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that would help events would just contain them, like in a run, and just like you just need these. Deceased was DC's #1 selling book last year. It was a self-contained event in that series. Yep. That's all you needed. They had like one little tie-in, and that was it. And then they've done other parts to it since then.
Yeah,
but they were all separate. They're separate. They're not going on at the same time. I think that goes a long way. I don't think Marvel's learned that yet. Yeah. Maybe in the future they do.
No, I don't like when you have to go read all these different series.
Yeah.
You know, to try to collect the whole story. And then if you're just reading one series and you don't want to read the event, and then that one book you get to makes no sense at all because it's not even in with the normal story. It has to go to the event. And you're like, well, now I got to wait another month.
It actually makes me not want to buy books. When I see it part of the event, I'll skip it. You know, it's this is a tie into that. And I'll just skip it because it's part of the event. The Empire event that they just did for Marvel, I think everyone kind of passed on that for the most part. And for some reason, they made every cover like the same kind of diagram design. And it was just off-putting to see the covers on those books. Even though they're regular titles I'd probably get, but they put this border around them to kind of signify the Empire event. And I thought they just kind of looked stupid.
Ruined it.
I was like, I don't know about that, you know, so I just skipped it, you know, so I don't know. I got the next one here. This is from Mr. DC. Says, the main thing I would like to see change is for stores to not be stuck with books. I go through previews, I order a book that looks good, and by the time I know what I don't want to pick it up anymore, it's 3 months or issues later, and I'm stuck picking it up in the series or run I don't want. I feel responsible for the book coming into the store and don't want to leave them stranded. My LCS is good to me, and I want to be good to them. By the time issue 1 gets to my hands, 2 more have already been ordered, and it's just not fair to them to be stuck with those books, even if it is a DC or Marvel. Basically what he's talking about is the order system and how far ahead they have to put in the orders for the books.
Months.
3 months in advance. Okay. And for titles that are 2 titles a month, okay, that's 6 books that you've kind of signed up for. Yeah. And if you want to pull that list, I don't want Batman anymore. Yeah. Well, they've already ordered it for the next 3 months, and that's already on they've paid for it and whatnot. He's talking about getting credit for books, and that used to be the case. It used to be the case to where if you had overstock of books,
you could rip the cover off,
you send it in, you get a credit. Now, there are still publishers that do that. Boom is very well known for doing that. They will give a comic shop credit for any unsold books. The thing about Boom, their books sell out. Yeah. For the most part, almost every one of their titles sells out. And I don't think a lot of comic shops order a tremendous amount of Boom books, but for the ones they do, they sell out. The obviously big offenders is Marvel and DC, and especially if these ratio variants where you have to buy 100 copies of the book. Now, here's the thing with this. This is why this does not exist. If you could rip off the cover and send it back and get credit, what would that do to ratio books? Yeah. People would just be buying no matter what. Yeah, I'll order 1,000 copies, and I know I'm not going to sell any, but I can just rip the cover off and send it back and get credit for it. That would kill the ratio. Yeah, now, on the other hand, this is where the ratio was invented. When they stopped doing this practice, that's when ratios came into play, because this is the way they can get away with it. This is the way where they can do the ratio and know that they don't have to refund 100 copies of Fantastic Four to the comic shop that bought a whole bunch of copies for some guy and then gave them to another shop or whatever.
Sounds like this is a
little personal.
Yeah, a little personal.
But anyway, that's kind of what is the problem. That's why we're probably not going to see this practice adopted anytime soon. This is a common practice with magazines.
Yeah.
Magazines do this. An old magazine, just rip the cover off, you can get a credit for it. I don't know if it's 100% credit.
Magazines don't have ratios.
Yeah, there's no ratios for those and stuff. And if
most of them don't sell for a lot more money when they work.
Exactly. But anyway, I would love to see that practice again. But the effect of that would be, if you're a fan of the ratio variance, there's a good chance that those go away if this is the case.
I'd much rather just not. I mean, I said I would, if we're doing variants, just keep the ratios. Yeah. I'd much rather see them all go away and just have one cover for every book.
Look at you. Old school.
Yeah.
There you go. I knew
you like the art or you don't.
I knew I liked you.
I want to buy it for the story.
There you go. Look at this guy. Okay, you're up next. You got Punk Scraps Comics.
Okay. Punk Scraps Comics. There are things I'd like to see different in the current comic book market. Probably my number one pet peeve is the poor paper quality of new books, specifically Marvel, DC, and the worst offender, Dynamite, Image, Aftershock, Boom, and a few others consistently having superb paper quality. But the big two and Dynamite are for the most part dreadful. If I'm going to pay $3.99 a book, I want it to look nice, at least near mint off the rack, depending on Diamond's careless packing and other factors.
So he's right. The paper quality for especially Marvel, I think Marvel is probably the worst. It literally rubs off in your hand. I remember it was Amazing Spider-Man book, and it was issue 30, and I'm reading it, and when I set it down, my fingers were covered with the ink from the cover. I was like, what is this? It's not like I'm sweating all the time.
I haven't had that problem. I'm actually really careful when I read a book.
I bet you are.
Yeah, man. I like it to go right back in near mint condition.
There you go.
Yep.
Anyway, he doesn't know.
I don't know.
But the paper quality for what Marvel uses it's not the standard of what others are. I mean, I've had examples. I was like, here, look at this book and compare it to this book. Take a Boom book or take a Vault book and compare it to a DC or a Marvel book. And the quality of the paper that they use, not only for the cover, but for the paper inside the book.
So I'm on the other side of that.
Is so much better. Really.
I don't like the hard glossy paper on the inside of the book. I like the flimsy paper.
Yeah.
I like the old school feel. I'd rather
I like the old... Don't get me wrong. I like the old school feel.
Yeah.
And if they would just do that again, because that didn't rub off on your hands.
No, but I don't like the new books that have the really thick paper on the inside.
Yeah.
And so I'm on the other side of that.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
Mr. Ryan.
No, I like the crappy ones.
All right. So Ryan likes crappy books. Anyway.
Go ahead with what you're saying.
But he also talks about the price of the book, and he's paying $3.99 a book and stuff. Yep. And that's actually something we've talked about in the past. Said our comics too expensive right now.
Yes.
$3.99 is the starting point for a book, except for one exception, that's Spawn, which is still $2.99. Thank you, Tom McFarlane. Yeah. But $3.99 is the standard, and then we have $4 and $5 and $6.99 depending on, if it's special or issue 1. I don't know.
A lot of books are $4.99.
Exactly.
It's $7.99.
One thing a while back, the guys from Image, they actually came out and said, the head of Image said books are too expensive. He said that the $3.99 price point is too much. Yep. I thank Todd McFarlane for not moving his book up to $3.99. Why he hasn't decided to do that, I don't know.
He's a multi-millionaire.
Well, yeah,
he's on to action figures.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I mean, but to be the only title, really. I mean, there's some other titles. Don't get me wrong. There's some other companies.
Todd's really in it for the fans, man.
Yeah. You can definitely tell. Yeah. So my hat's off to him for keeping Spawn, which is their number one book. Yep. For Image, or right up there.
I have a Spawn book with me today.
Oh, you do?
I do.
I have Spawns. Anyway, but he's kept it at $2.99, and I think $2.99 is a good price point. I would like to see books at that. It's not going to happen.
No.
But
I would keep going up.
Yeah, I would much rather them just stay at the $3.99 price point, even for something special. And I don't understand. I mean, I get they're trying to make more money, but if you put a number 1 out, keep it at $3.99. Put more pages in it and keep it at $3.99, so that way more people get into it. Sell that book more. Don't just go for the quick buck. Go for the long-term investment on that book. perfect example. The very last issue of The Walking Dead was a square-bound 80-page book. Yeah. They didn't jack up the price on that. They left it at $3.99. Man, that sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies. And they did that for the fans. Yeah. They did it for the fans. And stuff like that needs to happen more often. You know, don't just take advantage of it's a number one. We're going to put in a bunch of pages that don't have anything to do with the story. And I'm talking about some of the X-Men books that literally have all these diagrams in there.
Yes.
Some people like those, but
I hate it, man.
I think I remember looking
the Hickman books?
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember looking at X-Men number 1. I was like, I counted out the pages, and there was actually only 22 pages of actual story and artwork. And there was like 14 pages of all the other stuff, which I couldn't understand what he was talking about.
I know a couple of people that absolutely love that because just the way their mind works, that they want to know every little detail. Yeah. As soon as I hit that page, I'm like, foom, foom. Yeah, I'm past it. And I'm like, I do not care about.
I'm a skipper.
All the tie-in stuff.
I skip all that stuff.
Yeah.
Too much plain word print. Yeah. I need some bubbles attached to it, you know?
But yeah, I think comics are way overpriced for what you get nowadays, man. Yeah. I mean, they have much better artwork, yes. Yeah. But the stories, like we talked about this last time, the stories, there's only like, I mean, if you did an old book versus the new book, an old book has like 20 issues of a new book in it.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So, yeah I mean... And then when you're buying 20 books a week, man, like I was, it's just too much. And I know I don't have to buy that many. Yeah. But like when you are reading the previews and reading all this stuff online, you're like, oh, that sounds really good. I want to read that. And then you read it and you're like, that was horrible. But like 5 different people said it was going to be good. Yeah. But it was horrible. Then you're you know, but then stuck. But if you're buying 20 books, and I'd have like 2 that were good. Yeah. But you don't, unless you buy 20 books, then you don't know that. So yeah,
well, you don't buy books anymore. So what's your problem?
That's why I stopped buying books. It got too expensive.
Too expensive, man. It is. Okay, you got the next one here from Patrick.
Patrick Dorkin. I would love to see a different, definitive price guide that covers all areas of comics we love, between Overstreet, CGC, eBay, YouTube, and the internet. There are too many differences. For example, I was in talks with a guy who was trying to sell a Superman book for $40. After I did my research, I informed him the book was only worth about $6. I asked where I got that info from. I told him Overstreet, and he said that was outdated. I never got the book, and I feel there was a definitive price guide. Like stuff like this would not happen. Thanks, Bueller. Keep up the good work.
Well, Patrick, I hate to tell you this, but it ain't gonna happen.
Nope.
In this day and age, in a standalone price guide, as far as telling you what your books are worth, it just wouldn't be able to happen. No. Now, there used to be a time when there was, and that was a glorious time. When it was,
everyone was pocketing around their big old books.
Yeah, it was just Overstreet, maybe the Wizard magazine every now and then.
Oh, the Wizard top 10. They had top 10s.
Exactly, man. That back in the 90s and 80s and all that stuff, that was the time.
Yep. Have you looked at the Wizard top 10s?
No, huh?
They're pretty spot on.
Really?
They're pretty close to the books that are still going for decent money today.
Yeah. I would love to see Wizard come back.
Yeah, I would love to see. Awesome.
I would love for there to be a publication bi-weekly, or is that every 2 weeks?
I would get that on my pull list.
Exactly. That would kind of hit on stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool. But unfortunately, Patrick, like I said, just in today's day and age with all the different opinions and all the different eBay or whatnot, and things changed hour by hour. Yeah. There's really nothing you can do. Overstreet's a great price guide. I love it. We talked about it last time Ryan was here. It's a great guide for older books. If you're looking for a standard price on books that aren't, quote, like hot right now, it's a wonderful guide for prices on that. I mean, there's thousands and millions of comic books available, okay? Millions of them. And really, there's only about a couple hundred books that are considered hot books. Now, the other millions of books, if you're looking for prices, use the Overstreet for them. Because that's more accurate. For Rawhide Kid number 5, if you want to figure out a price for Rawhide Kid number 5, go to Overstreet. That's your best bet for that, like something like that.
Yeah.
But if you want to know how much Venom 3 is worth right now,
go on eBay.
Go on eBay. That's the difference that you're going to run into, and unfortunately, that's just the world we live in.
Yep.
All simpler times.
Yep.
All right, I got the next one here. This is from Fumador74. It says, hi. What I'd like to see changed is the incentive covers. Small shops cannot afford the number of books at times, so it's a chase if you like these incentive covers. If a store does get it, it most likely will be kept by the owner, sold at a much higher price, or to the top pull list person. Let's keep it real here. Some, if not most of those covers do not hold their value in the long run, so why not get new ideas for them? Since these comics are announced with time, why not make it an option to the whole pull list and see the amount to order? It helps more people receive the cover they want. Sales will go up on those and even charge a few extra dollars to help out the industry and LCS. Just not too much because I can't afford to go broke either. A win-win in my book. So incentive covers, that's actually something we talked about on that episode a couple episodes ago. I think the incentive model needs to change. I don't like the incentive model. The 1 in 100, the 1 in 5, the 1 in 1,000. The 1 in 1,000 turd variant, that's turd brown, for the Juggernaut. It was like 1 in 200. Yeah. But it's literally just a brown cover. Yeah. You get construction paper at Dollar Tree.
Sold out.
Yeah, exactly. Sold out. But I don't like the way incentives are done. And
so you know what they're doing in the toy world?
What are they doing?
They're called chases.
Okay.
So let's say every 1 in 6 you can get a chase, right?
Sure.
They have, and that makes it, and then when they distribute them, the chases get distributed to whomever.
Yeah.
So comic ships might not get a chase, and maybe they do.
So they're just randomly inserted.
They're randomly inserted, but the ratio is every 1 in 6, and they're doing it with Funkos and action figures now. So if you go to Walmart, there might be a chase on the wall, or there might not be.
Yeah.
So and the chase might have a different face to it, or whatever, right? And the same type of thing, but it makes it more fair. And the distributors don't care who get those chases, right? Yeah. So they just throw them in there, and whoever gets whatever gets whatever. Instead of like a shop buying 100 books to get that 1 in 100 or whatever.
Do you think that would work for comics?
I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, there are some shops that do buy a ton of the normal ones just to get the chases right so they can sell them. So that's never going to change.
Okay.
But I see it does reduce the prices, like as far as some of the stuff getting way overboard as far as pricing goes. So, I mean, I don't see why that couldn't work.
That's something I didn't consider, to be totally honest. I mean, I've heard you talk about... I actually wonder what that was, because I've watched your videos. Yeah. Oh, we got to chase something or whatnot.
So the chase always goes for more money, because it's harder to get, right? And that might just be glow in the dark, or it could just be a different cover on a comic book, right? But yeah, that's the thing, is you want the chase. And sometimes the chase is actually not as good as the regular one, and it goes for less money. Most people don't care, right? But since it's random, it's a lot more fun, for one, and then... you don't have to worry about having that 1 in 100, or the shop doesn't have to order 1 million copies to get the ratio event, right?
Now, they did that thing for The Walking Dead a while back. Do you remember those where they were in bags?
You talking about the 25th anniversary?
25th anniversary.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those actually.
Yeah, I wonder if that would be a common practice or something like that.
That was a lot of fun.
That was actually I like that. Yeah. I mean, because
people overspent on those as well. People bought way too many of those just to get like the 19 signed by Campbell, right? Was that the one that was going for the most money, right? The sketch variant or whatever.
So I mean, basically what we're saying is there are other options.
There are,
and one of the things I had mentioned before is, instead of the incentive variant being a 1 in 100 and making that shop buy $100, just sell the incentive variants for more money through the distributor. Like an Absolute Comic Group, we pointed them out. They sell variants, cover price, they're $19.99. The regular book is $4.99. This is on the cover. And then they have a variant for $19.99. And if they want to buy it, they can buy it. I like that model better. I like that model, for one, if 5 people want that book at a guy's shop and they're, say, $20 or $30 a piece, then those guys can order it instead of him ordering 500 copies of that book, and they just sit there. And let's just say what it is: inflating sales numbers to make those books look like they sold more than what they actually did. Yeah,
it's 30,000 print run, but there's only like 15,000 in people's hands.
It's not a true. It's not a true sales number. It's inflated. So I mean, I like that model. That's pretty good. I'm glad you brought that up, man, because we got a few different options I didn't wouldn't even think.
What's great about the toy world, and so Funko, you can order like if you wanted to order 6 pops, right, and then the chance is 1 in 6, right? Well, you'd get a chase in that 1 in 6 if you bought the case. But a lot of times you go to another store that's selling it.
Yeah.
You can order already 5, and we have a chance at a chase, right?
Yeah.
So they restrict it. You can only order so much, and then maybe you get a chase, maybe get 2 chases.
Yeah.
I've gotten them to where I've gotten 2 chases in a 5-pack, so I made out really well. And I've ordered a bunch where I haven't gotten any.
Can you order straight from Funko?
Yeah, Funko Shop, yeah. But they don't sell, so the way those work is they don't sell all the pops at the Funko Shop, right? A lot of them are store exclusives, and they sell them out. But like with toys, they're literally shipping toys now to like Walmart and Target and all these other places where they might have a chase on the wall.
Yeah.
There might be someone with the guy's got a different head, but only that Target has it.
Yeah.
And the tag, like the UPC symbol, is the same.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it might just be some 10-year-old kid that has a $100 action figure. He doesn't know he's got the chase.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I got the next one here as well. This is from Kurth U, I think. Says, I would love to change the digital price. If I am going to buy digital, which is more of an option with cheaper tablets, then don't charge me the full cover price. Charge me half cover price or $1. Open the door to more readers and don't have a LCS or other means to get the comics except digitally. So digital price, I think we talked about that before. Digital copies are the same amount
price
as a regular copy.
Yeah.
Now, there's a reason why that is. When they first announced digital copies, when Marvel and DC wanted to start doing digital, they were going to charge a cheaper price. And the comic shop said, what are you doing? You're going to kill us if you do it. And so the comic shop spoke out and said, if you do these digital comics with a cheaper price, how do we compete? Yeah. And so the companies, Marvel, DC, or whoever, they folded. They said, okay, we understand what you're talking about. So they kept the digital prices at the same price. Now, this was discussed many, many years ago when they first started doing it. Times are changing right now. DC's introducing a new model to where it's $1 for 10 pages. And every week they add more 10 pages. I think they're doing that with the Harley Quinn book right now. And they're going to be introducing, Marvel Unlimited app.
Yeah. I see those ads everywhere.
Exactly. The DC new app. So it's a whole different model.
Didn't they change the DC universe over to comics only now?
Something like that, yeah. But you're able to subscribe to these things. Now, as far as subscription base goes, do you have access right away to brand new titles? I don't think so. I think there is a waiting period. But with the new model, and I mentioned that Harley Quinn one, I think that's just a digital-only title because they are just doing digital-only titles and how that digital-only title is working. And that's kind of how they're getting away with doing that different price model because it's not available for comic shops. Anyway, so they're doing it like this, like 10 pages, or maybe it's less than 10 pages, but it's literally $1, and then they release more like a couple weeks later or a week later or something like that. But that's why the digital prices are the same. Now, you get a digital code with every Marvel book. It's in the book right there, so you have access to that. But I don't see them changing the price for digital, like new issues anytime soon. Or you're going to have the same revolt from the comic shops, especially now because they're even more available. So
I hate to say this, but I honestly think that we're going to go digital 100% if they see a more and more increase of people just buying digital books.
Yeah.
There's really no reason to print the books anymore if they have a high enough customer base on the digital copies.
They only need half. That's the thing. That's one thing I don't.
Think of how much cheaper it is.
That's the thing. If they have we'll just throw a number out there. If they have a comic they sell 1,000 copies of the comic, okay, and they make just say $2 per comic. They only need to sell 50,000 digital comics to make the same money, because they don't split that money with anyone but themselves. So it's kind of a scary thing when you think about it. So it's their benchmark for a digital comic is half what it would be for a regular comic. So
unfortunately, I do see eventually comics going all digital.
We've talked about that.
Don't get all depressed. I'm just saying it is what it is.
I hear you.
I don't like reading digital. I hate looking at a tablet. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
Much rather have something in my hands.
I agree. You got the next one from Raphael. I like how you take your glasses off. That's just great. Yeah.
Raphael One of the things that I would like to see change is the current method of determining a book's success based on pre-orders. I feel like there has been too many books that get canceled early, only to find that they are big sellers in trades collected books.
They pull a plug really quick sometimes, especially on independent books that are really good and just need some time to grow. You know, a few ones, Finger Guns, I really liked. Another one was Join the Future. I don't know if you checked that one out.
No, I tried reading Finger Guns, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you didn't like that
I
one?
didn't like it.
Yeah. Join the Future was probably one of my favorites. And there's so much more. It just ended, 5 issues. There's so much more to be told in that story. It's just the beginning. And I wish that they would give it more time to find an audience. And really...
Well, there's other books like on Marvel or DC that you're like, this garbage is
Oh,
still
yeah.
being
Oh, it goes both ways, but unfortunately, it seems like some of the really great titles, they don't give them enough time. And we'll hit on that a little bit because we have one of our famous creators, Jerry Conway, just kind of hit on that topic a little bit, and we actually have a comment from him. But I missed out on some really great books. Like Midnight Vista was another one that was canceled after 5 issues. I loved it. There was more to be told. And I think they do pull the plug a little too fast.
I've read some books where I'm just like, I can't wait for the next issue to come out, and then nothing. And you're like, what happened?
Yeah. But like you said, it is kind of a hit and miss because there's a lot of stuff out there that's not good. They're still making for some reason. I don't know. It's obviously because of the people who are buying it, Maybe just a fan of the character or something like that. It makes it more difficult for the independent publishers because they don't have a fan base of a character. Okay, if you're a fan of Squirrel Girl, you'll just buy the book because it's Squirrel Girl. You're a fan of that character. Okay, whether it's a good book or not, I don't know. I've never read it.
That's why I like the Tom King Batman, because I love Batman.
There you go.
People like that, it was horrible.
There you go.
So good.
With the independent titles, you don't have that connection with the character, so the book itself has to be good. And then it has to find its fan base because of that, not because of the character. Okay, you got the next one as well from
Poke Red. For me, I wish there would be more communication on all ends between the publisher and distributor, and between the distributor and the local comic shops, and between the local comic shops and the consumers. This way, we could all have a better understanding on what is going on and what is to come. I love comic books, but this is sad. But it is sad, and sometimes I feel left in the dark and confused when I do not get the book I want, or when the book or writer I like gets canceled after 8 issues. Thanks for the show and great work that you do.
Communication is key with everything, and there is a disconnect. I think the communication between a comic shop and a customer is pretty good, and it really has to do with your comic shop owner themselves. Yeah. There's some really great shop owners that do really go the extra mile and let you know what they know. But a lot of times, they are the ones left in the dark. Yeah. They don't know what's going on. They don't know why their shipments are late from Diamond. Same thing with publishers, third-party publishers. They don't know why their book didn't go out. They don't know. They're not getting the information. And really, I hate to say this, but a lot of it comes down to Diamond. Okay? Yeah. Diamond is very poor at communicating. Back the comeback was their slogan, okay? They need to communicate better than just throwing out a catchy slogan, okay? They need to tell the comic shops, hey, this is why your books are damaged. We're going to fix it. We're going to tell you exactly what's going to happen going forward.
They don't care.
Yeah.
It's because there's no competition.
Yeah.
That's on my list.
Yeah. It's on,
it's on my list.
It's complacency is what it is. And it's like, we talked about in the scenario as far as like, conspiracy theories as far as like, oh, does Diamond favor other shops over others and stuff? And I really kind of shot it down. I don't think that holds water because what's the other shop's option? Diamond's the one that holds the cards. They're the ones in charge. Yeah. It's not like it's like, oh man, I'm not going to go with Diamond. I'm going to go to, oh crap.
That's on my list.
That's,
but
you don't have the option.
There are definitely shops that will have better relationships with the distributor.
Sure, absolutely.
And they will get fed better.
Yeah. And I've noticed shops that are closer to where they're being distributed get a little bit more, quality time with maybe the distributor, I would say. Yeah. For one, they can just go there and pick them up. And if you're close to a distribution center, you can just do that. But I think communication is something really lacking. as far as coming from Diamond to the comic shops, to us, also through publishers. But there has to be some kind of accountability.
Well, that's the thing is they don't care because they don't have to. They have no other option.
Yeah, and that's actually something Jerry Conway kind of got to.
Yeah,
we're going to get to that here in a minute. But I agree, communication needs to be there. I think, like I said, where the communication breaks down, it's not from a comic shop level to the customer. I think a great comic shop will tell you everything that they know and they can give you, because they're there to take care of the customer and to give you a product that you want. The communication breakdown is from that comic shop to the distributor to the publisher, and so on and so on. So, all right, I got the last one here, and this one is actually I pulled off of Twitter, and this is from Jerry Conway, which is the creator of Punisher, Firestorm. He was like chief editor of Marvel for some time. I actually interviewed him a couple years ago at Rose City Comic Con, and he actually posted something on Twitter literally like 2 days after I posed this question.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. And this is a direct quote. And go read his Twitter feed because there's more to it than that. He says, "I'd do everything possible to get monthly comics in the supermarkets and movie theaters and Walmart and Target and Costco and offer subscription services through Amazon. Pursue every alternative distribution avenue possible. The present course taken by major publishers is a dead end." He's absolutely right. He knows. I mean, he knows. He's sold millions of comics, He's created countless characters. He knows what he's talking about. He knows that you're only going to hit a certain audience if you're just giving to 2,000 comic shops, okay? When you have other opportunities. Now, DC is putting stuff in Walmart. Yeah. It's a little bit different, but movie theaters is another one we've talked about on here. Why don't they have these comics available for you go see Avengers?
I remember going to a little store, man, when I was a kid, and there'd be comic books at the 7-Eleven or Plaid Pantry or the little store in the neighborhood.
Give out free comic books at the movie theaters. Have that an event night, a new Avengers movie. There's an Avengers free comic book day comic. Okay, do stuff like that. Get people involved in these books. Also, he's hitting on what they need to do to get more books out there. A thing that I have said needs to change. They need to change their advertising approach. They need to advertise these books in movies, on TV. Why not? These books are doing that for these movies and TV shows. Yeah. These movies and TV shows need to do the same for these books.
So when I got here, I talked about how my kid doesn't really like comics like I do, right? Right. We talked about how he just wanted to start watching Iron Man this week out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's because Iron Man's in the new Fortnite game. So if you thought about, putting comic books into video games like they're doing, he is so deep into wanting to watch Marvel movies. I am ecstatic, man. We've been watching Marvel movies all week, but all that took was him, because that's all he does is gaming, right?
Yeah.
But it just took putting some Marvel characters in the game that he enjoys. Now he's into Marvel.
There you go.
So little things like that. It's just a different.
It does. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
It makes a difference when you do that, and they're in that game. They're using artwork from some really well-known artists in the comic book industry. Shannon Mayer has his Mystique is part of the drawing that's in the game. He actually posted that on Facebook, that the drawing that they use in the game is his cover that he did for one of the titles. It's stuff like that. It's advertising would go so much further to just let people know, hey, comics are still available. Yeah. And like I said, do me a favor, go to Jerry Conway's Twitter feed. He's got a lot more that he talked about. This is just a sampling. But it's just great to hear a gentleman who's been in the industry for 50, 60 years, has made these iconic characters. He's still a champion for the industry. He's talking about what needs to change to make it better, and he's not just thrown in the towel. It's nice to hear that. It's nice to see that. And he's got some great things to say, and he's absolutely right.
It needs to be more available everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't just keep it in the little shops that are specific to comic books. It won't work.
It's not going to work. Do you have some other things on your list that you want to hit before we move on?
We talked about. I don't like all the hot comics of the week. I think there's way too many hot comics of the week. I honestly think it ruins the market. I think books should trend up based on merit, not off of what 5 other people say it's gonna if it's gonna be a hot book or whatever. I don't like hot books.
Yeah.
I don't. I think if a book's really good and it has a really good story, then people will go buy it, and that will produce an increase of value.
More
right?
Hulk.
Yes.
More
yes.
Hulk.
More Hulk. Yeah.
A perfect example.
Yeah. Well, when I was reading that, I never checked the pricing on them.
Yeah.
When I was reading the whole run,
Yeah.
and I was like, "This is going for how much?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?" And it's like, okay, whatever. It's a
Yep.
great story, but that's exactly true. No, yeah, it increased value based on merit and story.
Yep. I like it much more so than other things I've talked about. I'd much rather my book have the value because of something like that, as opposed to, man, I think this character's in a movie.
Oh,
That maybe.
yeah.
I've said that before, but
Yeah.
there's
This
so
has
many.
a new character. in
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
there's so many different keys to the market. They kind of all go together.
Every week there's 30 new characters.
Yeah, there is a lot of new characters. Oh, Wolverine's daughter. Doesn't he have like 12 kids? I mean, the guy gets around.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's
that
insane.
doesn't last too long, right?
Yeah, no, none of the hot books last very long.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, that is what it is, and I understand what you're saying, but I do enjoy sometimes the hunt a little bit, and sometimes you're like, oh man, I found this book or whatnot. I don't go after that stuff myself, and that really doesn't interest me. If it falls on my lap, and that's pretty much what it is. If it falls in my lap, sure, I'll buy it.
As soon as it hits a top 10, or if someone says a character is going to be in the movie, I'm like, I'm out. I don't want this book anymore. I just take it right off my list.
Yeah.
Right? But what's great about the nice old books that I try to go hunting for, like Hulk's first appearance, that doesn't really spike. Right, that book when he comes in a movie, it doesn't just go through the roof.
Yeah,
it's kind of already there.
Yeah.
So it kind of has a very small incline.
Do you remember how much
years.
The Punisher spiked when Dolph Lundgren's movie came out?
No,
it didn't. I love that movie though.
Well, look at an example of a really popular character, Harley Quinn. Right?
Yeah.
Her book was fetching $3,000 plus, and now you can get it for $1,600 after the crappy movie came out.
Yeah, didn't you sell a copy of 9?
I had a lot of copies of those, and I made a really good amount of money on them.
$1,800.
I have I had a couple.
Wasn't that yours that sold at the shop? Wasn't there 9.8 on consignment there and sold for $1,800?
I had like 20 of them. I gave one to to Bruce over there.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Real quick, another thing that I would like to see change. I think that they need to get away from the 2 titles a month type thing. I wish the books were once a month instead of 2 issues a month. I think it hurts on the quality of the story, and I think that's a direct contribute to how some of the interior artwork is not that great because they're so rushed to make the books because they're putting 2 issues out a month of a certain title.
Well, that's the thing is there's only an eighth of a story in an issue.
Exactly. But I mean, if they spread it out, if they went back to once a month, X-Men once a month, I think it is once a month. But some titles like Batman, which is every other week, if that was once a month, and don't get me wrong, it's a great story, so it's a poor example. But I like books that are once a month.
Yeah.
I think the story gets developed more. The artwork has more time. I've talked to artists. They've said the same thing. They're like, yeah, I missed the once a month thing. I talked to...
Can you imagine how much pressure they're under?
Oh,
to
yeah.
Get a whole
I
book
talked
done
to
in
Scott
2
Williams
weeks.
and Alex Sinclair. They said the same thing. Man, yeah, this 2 weeks thing, it's a lot of work.
Think of how tough it is to write a story.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think the artwork is probably the hardest, obviously, of writing a story. I think a good
You don't think
story.
figuring out a good story to tell people that they're just like, oh, this is garbage.
I would tell you this: storytellers, I think once they get an idea in their mind, they want to go.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, I can't get this out fast enough, and they have months and months of story already kind of planned out, and then they redefine their whatnot, But I think artwork just takes time to do. It's like you have to sit there and draw everything. It's time consuming, much more time consuming than the story. Because if you have a good thought in your mind, oh man.
Think of how many stories there are. You know what I mean, though? That's all I'm saying. It's hard, but
Yeah.
I think it's for someone that doesn't draw, or I couldn't do a story either. It would be hard for me.
I mean,
right?
look at Doomsday.
But that's what they do for a living, so I get what you're
Doomsday
saying.
Clock took 7 years to come out, and look at that thing.
7 years.
7 years. The story was so good.
Yeah, that was a bad example.
7 years. Well, hey, man, that's the topic for today.
Yeah, it's a good topic.
That's a pretty good one. I think it's a lot of great suggestions, and there's a lot of comments. I encourage everyone to go check take a look at them because we can't obviously cover them all. We only did about 10 of the 150 that were on there, but just some great comments. And some people write novels on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much to read, to be honest. I read them, but not out loud.
Yeah.
But really great topic. So thank you, everyone. But let's go ahead and switch gears to our final 5. How about that? All right, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So I got...
Look at all these reprints.
Yeah, all reprints. I like the old stuff.
I hear you.
Yeah. So the first appearance of the Swamp Thing.
Nice.
Right? We got first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. And then this one's kind of a little bit of a spec book. Now, the White Rabbit, she now has her own action figure.
Oh.
And if they're going to spend the money to put into an action figure, into, a mold and everything like that, she may show up in a movie for those of you guys that want to spec.
This one character got their own toothbrush. You might want to be on the lookout for that.
But think about how, when was the last time anyone talked about this character? Right?
Just now.
Yeah, just now.
Yeah.
She dated Batman. She was
There
a
you go.
villain. And then I like the old homage covers. This is Lady Death, but it's the homage to Miss Marvel, number
Nice.
1, right?
I like that.
Then I got Spawn 300. And the reason I brought this is because I don't know if you guys have seen the new remastered Spawn toy that McFarlane's putting out. Yeah. I got the 3-pack. I can't wait for it to come in.
Kickstarter one?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
you're
so
do
excited.
An unboxing on that one?
Yeah. I can't wait to see that when it comes in.
I'll have to come over and take a look at that.
Yeah, it looks epic. And I got another... anyway...
He raised a lot of money on that one.
He did, man. He did real well on that, man. It blew up.
That's awesome.
So people were buying multiple 3-packs.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Very cool. All right, I got my 5.
You want me to take these?
Yeah, go ahead and get rid of those. You ready for these? Secret Defenders, number 12. Some shiny cover in this. Look at that.
Well, I can't see. I can see the back of it.
I don't want you to see it. A G.I. Joe number 46. One of my
Storm
favorite.
Shadow and Snake Eyes.
One of my favorite covers from that run.
I love that.
One of my favorite. And then I have Quasar number 14. This is a Tom McFarlane cover.
Is it?
Yeah. One of his only Quasar. He only did one. There you go, Tom McFarlane. Detective Comics number 437. The real deal, not a facsimile. I believe it's a key. I don't know. It doesn't.
You don't
really
even
matter.
know it's a key or not.
No. And then I got Superboy number 194, and this is when he turns into a ladyfish.
There you go.
Ladyfish, that's a key. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it's like one of the new modern keys.
There you go. But anyway, that's my final 5. Not bad, right?
Yeah, no, they're great old books. I'll try to bring some real books for you next time.
Maybe next week. You never know.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, so some old ones, some new ones, some shiny ones. We kind of covered all the bases, and very cool. All right, man, that's nice. Let's go ahead and give some stuff away. Why not, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so let me go ahead and tell you the winners for last week. We have 2 winners from last week. We have our Patreon winner. And pretty much we do 2 giveaways. One for our Patrons. If you're a member of our Patreon, you can sign up for it. It's $3.99 a month. It's the price of 1 comic book a month. If you think we provide the value worth 1 comic book a month, then feel free to sign up for our Patreon. You got a bunch of Patrons,
I do have a lot of Patrons. Yeah, man, they're awesome.
First thing you did when you came here, pointing that out to me.
Well, it's a lot of work, man.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. I
patted
patted myself on the back.
I don't have anything on my Patreon page.
I do, yeah. They're very involved in my channel.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, look at you. All right. So we have our winner for our Patreon giveaway is Pete Callan, Callan. Congratulations, Pete. Contact me. My information is down below, and we'll get that sent out to you. And for our regular viewers and also our Patrons, because all you have to do is leave a comment down below on this video, and you are entered. The regular winner is Eric the Red. Eric the Red, congratulations.
That's me. I'll just take my stuff down.
That's not you. You won the giveaway from last week. So, like I said, we have Pete Callan for our Patreon and Eric the Red for our regular. There you go. You guys just won some bucks.
You ever have people make fake accounts and have you send them stuff when it's not really them?
I catch them.
Do you?
Yep. That happened to me in the very beginning. Yeah. And I was like, that doesn't seem right. And
I always have them jump through hoops.
I do. I make them go leave a comment on the thing with their profile with the number I gave them.
Say this exact phrase.
Exactly.
Yep.
Nice try, people.
Yep.
Nope, that happened to me at the very beginning. No. So, but not anymore. I never did send them out though. Yeah. I caught it. Okay, this week's giveaway. All right, so same thing. We have one giveaway for our Patreons, and we have another giveaway for our regular viewers.
I like that cover.
Yeah, very cool. This is for our Patreons. This is Princess Revolution, #1 by Scout Comics. And then we have Last Stop, #1, also by Scout Comics. And then we have our Bigs and Tiny by Blackbox Comics, #1, #2, and #3. This isn't even out yet.
One person gets all those?
Advanced copy, yeah. Well, that's not even on the shelves yet. They sent me a bunch of them. There you go. Look at that.
I'll give them back.
I'll let you have one, actually. I got some extra.
Do you have extra? Yeah.
So that's for our Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, you're already entered. And then we have the giveaway for our regular viewers. I'll show you these right here. These are also from Scout Comics. This is Kyra, Alien Jungle Girl, #1. The Mall, #1. And then back to Black Box Comics, we have Bigs and Tiny, #1, #2, and #3. Like I said, 3's not even out yet. All you gotta do is leave a comment down below to be entered into the giveaway for those, and we'll tell you who wins next week. So there we go.
Sweet.
And then we have more giveaways next week. We have giveaways all the way through episode 100, and brought to you by Scout Comics, Black Box Comics, and Comic Pro Line as well. They've sent us a bunch of stuff to give away, and maybe more stuff in the future. So
good luck, everybody.
Yeah. All you gotta do is leave comments. That easy. You can enter. I would make sure you.
Well, you're
win.
already gonna give me one.
I wouldn't let you win. I'd say that's Ryan. I'm not giving him nothing.
I would make like 30 accounts.
Jesus. You know what? That's all I got, man.
It was a great topic. I think we covered everything in detail. Yeah.
I feel pretty good
hopefully
about it.
You guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. I enjoyed. I appreciate you coming over, man.
Yeah, anytime.
He apparently doesn't do anything, because both times I've called him, he's like, "Yeah, I'll be there."
I was napping when you called me.
Dadbodshenanigans nap time.
I gotta take a nap before I do my videos.
Yeah, so he doesn't do much. He just waits by the phone. Like, "Yeah, I'll be there."
Yeah,
that
sure.
Sounds good. What time do you want me?
Yeah, I try to make sure the kids have food, and I left.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, they're only like 6, but I think they're fine. My phone's gone off a couple times while we're sitting here.
Do me a favor, tell them about your channel real quick.
So my channel is Dadbodshenanigans. I open mystery boxes and do unboxings like Funko Pops. I do toys, some comics and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just it's mostly just toys and unboxing and mystery boxes. And I have Patreons that sponsor the openings and stuff like that. So whatever I open, it goes to them.
Very cool. Awesome, man. And you just hit over 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it was like 2.2 as I headed on
Look
over
at
here.
you,
Look
man.
at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someday I'll get there.
Yeah. With an extra couple zeros.
Yeah, exactly. Well, congratulations, man. I enjoy your channel. You got a nice little theme song and everything. Little graphics pop up on the screen. You got the camera looking right now, finally. Not that fisheye thing that was going on.
That was like a couple months ago. Yeah. I couldn't figure out the settings.
Sorry, man.
I asked you how to fix it and stuff, but you wouldn't tell me. You're not very helpful person.
Come on, man. What a jerk. You know what?
I don't have all this nice setup like you do.
I've been to your house, dude. You got plenty of nice things.
Extra room.
Come on, man. Anyways. Well, thank you, Ryan, for showing up today. And thanks for talking comics and stuff.
I love it.
You brought a really good perspective, and honestly, some of the things you mentioned I didn't even think about. So I appreciate getting that output or that outside opinion, on the comic book market, even though you're more focused right now on the Funko. But they, like you said in the past,
it all crosses right over, man. And there's so many similarities that it's crazy.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. I want to say, Bob, we're here, buddy, and like I said, we're sending you our best wishes and good vibes your way, and hopefully he'll be back next week. If not, maybe Ryan will stop in next week. I don't know, but
if you can take it another week in a row.
Yeah, I don't know, but hopefully Bob's back. Anyways, all right, everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do. We'll see you next time. Bye.